Hey guys, Andrew Shrout reporting from the feature match area. I'm here with Travis Harrison, your Charlotte Standard Open champion. How you feeling, man?
Feeling pretty good. It's really nice to go absolutely undefeated.
Nice, nice. I have something for you.
Oh, there we go. All right.
A chance to show that one off.
No cheers.
No, yeah, no, yeah. There's the Legacy Open currently ongoing, so unfortunately, mostly people are busy right now. But let's talk about your deck a little. You played Mono Blue Devotion, splashing white.
Correct.
I had a chance to sit in on the finals, and I got to see Detention Sphere do some fantastic work.
Absolutely.
Talk to me a little about your decision to play the white splash over straight Mono Blue.
Okay, so I was testing a Azorius control on MTGO. I played pretty exclusively on MTGO. Sure. It's very difficult for me to get to events, so I like to jam as hard as I can on Magic and then par the cards. I borrowed 75 cards. Okay. On MTGO, I was running an American form of control, which just started losing to the black decks, and I saw the list of the mono blue white decks, and I figured that while the metagame was shifting so heavily, the best strategy for me, since I play mostly on MTGO and I don't know the IRL metagame, that I wanted to play the classic style of get guys on the board and force you to, react to that, because everybody is not solid in their choices. You ask anybody about their 75 and they're not 100%, the most that I've seen standard in a long time. So I felt like me having 4-4-4-4-4, 1-1-1-1 would be the best strategy.
Okay, you just wanted to be proactive and have your game plan solid.
Right, because any clunkiness that they have yet to figure out, I'm not there.
Okay, that makes sense. One last thing I want to talk about. You had kind of a bearded mascot in your deck. A one of Prognostic Sphinx. As you see, we've actually moved our Prognostic Sphinx banner to the background, especially for this occasion. Tell me a little about this card and why you chose to play it.
Okay, so I didn't come up with the idea. I saw it in a top 8 that my friend Dave Reed was trying to get me to look at more lists, and he said, check out this top 8. There was a couple mono blue devotions in there, and I saw in a mono blue, not splash white, Prognostic Sphinx, and I've been looking to find a way to stop flooding. I in fact lost tons of tickets on MTGO just from flooding, and there's the whole idea that the MTGO shuffler is evil or whatever. Okay, so what it was that I found that I needed a difference maker in the mirror if that were going to be an option, because it seemed at the time before the next shift that mono blue had a decent matchup against where the metagame was going. So in the mirror I wanted something, and as well as with the increased popularity of black white because of the Esper. It's like you play Esper or you play cards that beat up Esper's hand. So because of that popularity, the ability to have hexproof for like a 0/1 Cloudfin Raptor or an island is just absolutely absurd. There's plenty of times, it didn't happen in this tournament, but there's plenty of times on MTGO where my opponent will Hero's Downfall to tap this to swing through. I mean, that makes it a lot worse. And if it ever becomes bad, scrying 3 is, I know scrying isn't as good as drawing a card, but scrying 3 that's a lot of scrying, especially with cards like Afara and Biden, where I can set up a draw on their turn type of situation for rapid hybridization, and then maybe I can even draw again off of Afara. It's absolutely nuts. I haven't found the bad matchup for it. You suggested something red.
Maybe some kind of aggro deck is probably where it's at its worst, but still not bad there.
Right, so how I look at it is that like in the aggro decks or the red decks or whatever it is, they have a good time being able to keep me off of enough Devo to have Thassa be able to pump my Cloudfin Raptor to the 4/5 version. And this does it automatically. And this, like, what I was looking for was, like, everybody was running 2 Biden originally because you need quasi-permanent or permanent Devo, and this does that, except it's a body. It's not an artifact, or, you know what I mean? It has proactive, and in the mirror, it's absolutely absurd. If you have Night Veil Spectre and I have this.
All right, so you think this is something that most blue devotion decks should have going forward?
Right. There was another choice that I made against a lot, was that I cut 1 Mutavault and 1 land and ran 1 Nykthos. This was against all of my team's suggestions, but the idea was that you want to be able to get Night Veil Spectre out turn 3, and I just don't see how our 4th Mutavault does that. And so by cutting a Mutavault and adding the Nykthos, I in fact gave myself the option to play a card every turn, because before the metagame shifted, having a ton of mana and getting through was the way to do it. As opposed to, if you look at all my life totals throughout the entire tournament, I just chip away. It's just a lot of ink on their side and very little on mine. So cutting down the one land and having like the quasi screw or whatever, plus the ability to Nykthos backwards and use like a blue casted Judge's Familiar to be able to like pay 5 and cast a Detention Sphere is relevant.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that. So you just wanted to make some small changes to make sure that you could curve out and get onto the board every time as consistently as possible.
Right. Plus, there's that rare time where I have black, red, and white mana in my blue cards that Nykthos taps for. Online, I mostly tap it for 7 and go Detention Sphere Master instead of choosing.
Cool. Congrats again, man. It clearly worked out for you. We're going to send it back to the booth.
Is that good? I don't know if I went too long on strategy.
It was actually pretty long.